Good win by our guys. They did a heck of a job responding. One of the things we talked about before the game was, we have 100% control over our ability to communicate, our physicality, and the multiple efforts that we give for each possession. And I thought we were pretty good in all those areas. They missed some shots, but they were 5 for 20 from the three-point line throughout the course of the game. And so that meant that our guys were flying around the right way and trying to contest shots. HB had a big game for us. I thought you're not stopping Kevin Durant. Although Kevin Durant had 28 on 9 for 14, HB did a great job on him throughout the course of the night. You just trying to make him work for his shots, and you're very appreciative of having a veteran like HB be able to step up and and make a Hall of Fame player like KD work. Obviously, 31 assists on 44 field goals was huge. I thought our pace was big, especially in the third quarter. We came out and got some stops, and we pushed the ball on makes and misses, scoring 16 of our 21 fast break points in the third. Wish we would have put bodies on bodies a little bit more. But at the end of the day, Domas' efficiency, going 12 for 15 from the floor, another triple-double. I don't know how many that he has, but it just seems like it's commonplace for those to pop up for him. But heck of a game by Domas with his efficiency on the offensive end and the big triple-double night.
Mike, a little more on Domas. I think it's 4 triple-doubles this season, 18 as a King. And in addition to that, he just seems to normalize double-doubles on a nightly basis now. How valuable is that to have someone that you can almost pencil in that kind of production across the board a night? And do you think people take that for granted a little bit when watching him?
When great players do stuff like this consistently, I think it's natural for people to think, okay, now great game, but not get excited about just because that's what he does. And so to be able to recognize it, to highlight it when he does it from time to time is big. And it's up to all of us to highlight it because it's hard. It's hard. It's almost impossible to be a center and get a triple-double, all right? There's only a couple guys out there. Domas is one of them. Jokic might be the other one. I may be forgetting another guy or two, but it's hard to get a triple-double from the center position, first of all, especially as much as he gets them. But a double-double, everybody just thinks it should happen because he always gets double-doubles. And so I don't think it's malicious when people take it for granted at all. It's just expecting what a great player does. And just like Foxy, if Foxy has 27, hey, you're supposed to get 27 for us, and you're supposed to play defense too. Good game, but you did what you're supposed to do for who you are.
I was hoping you could not only remember this moment, but shed some light on what happened. HB hits a 3 in the first half, comes over. It looked like he thanked you for something. Did you recall what that was?
No, did you ask him?
I missed. I meant to, but I forgot. He started speaking Spanish, so it was very confusing.
He spoke Spanish?
He did, yeah.
What was he saying?
I don't know.
Anybody?
Chris asked me to ask him 5 questions in Spanish.
Ah.
And so, because I guess he's learning how to speak Spanish.
Yes, he is.
And he did really good.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. HB's a smart guy. He's very smart. And if he puts his mind on something, he gets it done. But so I got on HB, it was a few games ago, because it was a loose ball, and he reached for it. And so I got after him pretty good. And it was a loose ball in front of the bench. And I was yelling, get on the floor, get on the floor, And he ended up coming up with the loose ball. And so play happened, and then a timeout happened. And he came up to me, he goes, I just want you to know, if I don't get on the floor, I will get the loose ball. I said, okay. All right, you don't have to dive on the floor if you're going to come up with it. So that's why he shook my hand.
And I was just wondering if any reaction to Malik's dunk. It's not often that you react to some of the dunks that are on there, but wonder if that one impressed you.
That one impressed. There was another one that he did earlier in the year that was like on somebody that impressed me. He kind of cocked it back, and dunked on. So that one caught me off guard. Tonight, I could see it coming, and Malik, he's a freak of an athlete. And sometimes he doesn't look like it. People may not think he looks like it, but he can fly. He can really fly. He should be in the dunk contest, Adam. Did I say that, Adam? He should be in the dunk contest. Only if he wants to, but go ahead.
Coach, it's interesting. Every single time this season you guys face adversity, you're able to battle through it and come out on top. Another great example tonight. Just what's about this team that's able to make that work every single time?
Well, the first thing is I truly believe that this team wants to play the right way. And, obviously sometimes it doesn't happen. And I think it's a wake-up call, and they realize what they can do better, and they try to embrace what they need to do and go out there and get it done. And, I'm glad they're able to do that, and I think they're trying to fight for consistency, and hopefully we can get it. If we get consistency, as good as those players are in that locker room, we'll have a chance to take off. But again, we got a lot of basketball left. I can't sit here and promise that we may not get smacked again. Hopefully we don't get smacked as many times as we have already. And if we do, hopefully we'll show our resiliency like we did tonight and on other nights to come back and get a win.
And speaking of adversity, I think the biggest adversity you guys have in your place right now is winning on back-to-backs. You haven't done it this year. Just what do you hope that the guys show tomorrow to respond to that adversity?
Obviously, you're right. We haven't gotten a win off of back-to-back. We need to go out and play at a higher level. We can't coast against a good Minnesota team coming in here because if they do, obviously they're the best team in the West right now record-wise. It could get ugly. So I think it's a great challenge in front of us because of the times that we faltered. And I believe in our guys. I believe our guys will go out and play good basketball tomorrow to try to get us a win.
Coach, KD told me that at one point during the game he got on you about the amount of doubles and blitzes you were sending his way. Do you recall that exchange?
Yes.
Can you peel the curtain back? Can you take us by some commentary how that went?
Katie came over to me. It was a dead ball situation. He goes, "What's up with all this double teaming? Y'all double teaming me. Y'all double team. Y'all double team." I said, "Katie, come on, man." I said, "You forgot I was with you 2 years." I said, "You smart. You know exactly what we're trying to do and why we need to do it." He was like, "What? What?" He kept coming at me. I said, "Katie, you ain't baiting me into nothing. You're not fooling me. You smart. You're one of the smartest guys I coach. You know exactly what we're trying to do." And finally, he walked away.
Okay. But does that speak to the personnel around them, or do you feel like you would have been doing that same double blitz action if they had a full team? Because they're guys in and out the roster, so most teams are doing that.
Yeah, it's obviously it's a little harder with the more shooting, the more experience that they have on the floor, and I'm sure they miss Beal right now. I'm sure they miss Nurkic right now, but everybody is out games. We missed Fox for 5 games. We missed Keegan, I think, for 7 games. We missed Trey for 13 games. And, you want your whole team, but at the end of the day, you got to play with who you have. They have a lot of really good shooters. I think there were 4 guys in their starting lineup that we labeled as hot, and you take chances when you double, and your rotations have to be right. Just like when they try to double Domas, you take chances, their rotation have to be right, and if we get that ball moving and it's to the right person at the right time, we can make them pay. And so it's a cat and mouse game in that regard when you have great players that have to be double teamed. They make the game easier for the average player in the NBA. So.
Mike, you mentioned Nurkic being out, and you guys were 28 of 36 in the paint. How concerted was that effort to get Domas going early inside and attack them in the painted area?
It's always an emphasis for us, especially when they played small a lot. They put Mezzi on them a little bit, then they went even smaller late in the game, and for us, anytime we feel like we have an advantage down there, it's not necessarily just to post him and get him going in terms of scoring. He has the green light anytime he wants it to catch on the post and go score. But Domas is such a great passer. He's so strong, great vision and all that stuff that he gets a handful of assists from that because teams start to shrink. They do double. And if you overcommit, even if you don't double all the way, if you overcommit or lean towards him a little too much, he's going to find somebody for an open three. And so for us, it's not just a post-up play, like I said. It's a play for him to make a play as well for his teammates.
Coach De'Aaron broke the Sacramento era record for most assists. What's that like for you to watch him be setting franchise records like that?
He's just getting started. I think the guy's 25, 26, something like that, and he's already broken that record. I mean, there's going to be a lot of records that go down during his time here. Thank y'all.